All right, so now we get to get into the fun stuff. We get to get into the coaching with the person. So the first thing that we have on the list to take them through is the couch stretch. And the couch stretch is a fairly intense, like quad and hip flexor stretch. It's going to get them right in the front here. You'll learn that lots of people that have desk jobs are very, very tight here. People with low back pain, this can also really help. So that's going to be the first thing you take them through. Now we're going to be using these cushions we have set up over on the wall here. Sam's my athlete. All right, so Sam, first thing we're going to do today is our couch stretch. I'm going to show you what it looks like. We have our cushion against the wall here. Your knee is going to go down onto the cushion. We're actually going to get your toes up against the wall. And so we're in this kind of lunge stride here. Shin is vertical. You're going to squeeze your butt and you're going to push your hips forward. And I'm going to give you a stick to hold on to just for some balance as you get into it. Some people will need help getting into this because it's a very, very tight stretch. But really what we're looking for is a stretch in the front of your hips. Have you done this stretch before?
Never.
All right. So
So I'm starting my hands and knees.
hands and knees, knee on the cushion, foot back. Very nice. This is for you in case you want some assistance to get yourself up. Very good. Oh, you're a pro. Look at that. So squeeze your butt. Try to keep your chest nice and tall. Do you feel a stretch in the front of your hip? Perfect. A lot of people will feel it very, very quickly. So we're going to spend about a minute there, and then this is a good time if you want to take them, if you want to ask them about their injury history or anything like that. This would be a good time to do that. So do a minute, and then you'd switch and do the same on the other side.
If it's too intense, what do you suggest?
So if it's too intense, a couple different choices you have. You can scooch this cushion away from the wall and make that oh my goodness, that might be too far. You can have the height that the foot is at a little bit lower. So the closer the heel is to your butt, the more intense that stretch is going to be. And so having your foot lower on the wall is a bit better. If that's even too much, you can even just have them do like a lunge stretch on the floor with their foot flat like that. That might even be enough for some people in the front of their hip. Yep. After that, they're nice and stretched out. We're going to take them to the bike. So this is one of the pieces of equipment that you'll have pre-staged. This should already be out with you. Now, some things you need to teach them about is the seat height. They need to be able to adjust their own seat height in class because you as the coach can't go around and adjust 10 people's seat height to their level. So, Sam, have you used one of these bikes before?
Never.
All right. So, it's an air bike. The feet move and the hands move. So it's a full body experience here. We need to get your seat height adjusted to about your hip so that when you're pedaling, your foot, your leg almost fully extends. I think we probably need to raise that up a little bit more. And the way that you raise this is you're going to spin the dial a little bit and pull it out, and then you can move it up and down to whatever you see fit there. So let's get this up to about your hip there. Let's try there. Just tighten it a little bit. It doesn't need to be tightened on like crazy, just a little bit there. Have a seat on there and see if that feels okay. And give a couple of pedals, and we'll just watch his knees, and we'll see if that looks appropriate. Does that feel okay? Perfect. And then you have them bike for 2 minutes. And this is a good way for them to feel it for the first time. A lot of people haven't used this type of bike before. You can teach them about like what all the numbers means. There's an RPM gauge. There's the calories. You can show them how to start and stop the bike. You just want to get them familiar with it because we use it a lot in class. And it'll make them feel more confident coming into class if they know what this bike is all about. So you can hop off there. The last part of our warm-up here, we've got 3 dynamic stretches. These 3 stretches we do, you can tell them, we do a lot in class. So you'll see these like at least once a week, I would say. You get very, very familiar with them. The first one is called an active Samson. So for your active Samson, you're going to have your fingers together like this. You're going to step back into your deep lunge. Hands go up overhead, and you're going to lean towards your knee. And just hold for like a second or 2, and then we come back up to the top, and we alternate. We go back, other foot, hands up, and then lean towards your knee. And you'd have them go through that for about 30 seconds, just watching their positioning, making sure it looks pretty stable. And you can tell them this is a stretch for your hip. It's also a stretch for your lats when you reach to the side. Next up, we have our bootstrappers. This is one we do for squatting a lot. You're going to get into a fairly wide-ish stance, maybe a little bit wider than your usual squat stance. We're going to reach down and grab onto your toes. You can bend your knees, and we're going to drop down, get your butt as low as we can. We've got elbows inside your knees, chest is high. You can even use your elbows to push your knees apart if you like. And this is a good way you can start kind of assessing their squat a little bit. You can have a look at their mobility for the first time. And then holding onto your toes, you're going to straighten your legs as much as you can. You're going to get a nice stretch down the back of your legs. And you just hold each position for maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and we go back down to your deep squat. And you can use this time to chat with them as well. Butt back up. And we spend about 30 seconds or so here. And then our last stretch, this is one to prepare for the snatches today. You will need a PVC. Actually, usually I give them a longer one because you've really got some tight shoulders. So I like to give them the longer PVCs for this, especially if they're not trained, because this is pretty intense on the shoulders. We're going to go wide grip, super wide straight arms. And we're going to pass it all the way around to the back and all the way around to the front. And if this is too easy, you can start to bring your hands a little bit closer together, as long as they have straight arms. If you see their arms starting to bend and them losing the position, that means they've gone too far. Hands need to go a little bit wider because we want straight arms for this. And again, about 30 seconds worth of these.
If they're very tight, maybe using a band.
Band would be fine as well, yep. The wood sticks are the shortest ones, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend handing them one of these right out of the gate. Grab one of the longer sticks or a band. Band would be fine too.